Hi artists! Today we are going to learn how to draw a cylindrical fish tank. So cylinder, what is that word? So a cylinder is a 3D form, which is something that has length, width, it goes back in space, and height. It's how tall it is. So here I have a candle, which is in a cylindrical jar. So a cylinder has two circles for the base and the top, and actually a rectangle wrapped around it. So here, if we look at it in a different way, here I have a picture I drew of a cylinder, but if we take it apart, we actually have a rectangle and two circles. And we can see that through taking this one rectangle of paper, and if I wrap the sides around, look, if I hold it from the top, there's my circle, there's another circle, and I made it using a rectangle of paper. So now that we know what cylinders are, you see them around your house or in the school all the time. They're like soup cans, sometimes your water bottles, your glasses that you drink out of are cylindrical. Okay, so now how are we going to make a Henry Matisse inspired fish tank? Well, we're going to draw our table. We're going to learn how to draw the actual fish tank, and then you'll have fun filling your fish tank with your fishies, little fish tank decor like castles or seaweed, and then you can design the rest of your room. So to start, we're going to do our table. We're going to draw an oval. So remember, we don't want to go small. We want to make sure we're going bigger than the size of our hand. So I'm going to start with an oval. I like to think about drawing a smile curve first, and then adding my sad face curve on top. So a fish tank, what material is it made out of? Let me give you a moment to think. Is it metal? Is it wood? A fish tank is usually made of glass, like this candle. So it's going to be see-through. So when we are going to draw it, we're going to imagine how we can see through it. So to start, inside of my table, I'm going to start with a smile curve. And then from the ends of the smile curve, I'm going to go add a parallel line, two parallel lines, or just lines that never touch. So look how I made them the same height, because I need to connect them with another smile curve. Now this doesn't quite look like a cylinder yet. If I take my glass and you see if I tilt it, that top rim looks more like an oval. So we need to add a sad face curve on top to make it look like a round cylinder. But since our fish tank is glass, we're going to add a little dotted line to connect that point to this point to look like the round bottom of the cylinder. At this point, it kind of looks like a top hat that a guy would wear to a fancy party, but we're going to turn it into a fish tank. So there's water in a fish tank, so we're going to add a little water line. We're going to go add a smile curve, another sad face curve on top, because the water follows the roundness of the glass it's in. Okay, now the fun part, you can design the room. So first, let's give our table some legs. I'm going to give there a line for where the wall meets the floor. But since the tank is see-through, we're going to see through it. Okay, then how about I'll give a window. I'm just using my shapes to draw things. Drawing a rectangle. Oop, I made a mistake. That's okay. Draw the windowsill. And you're just having fun with this part. Maybe a little picture on the wall. A little frame. Using my shapes to draw things. Okay, then fish tank time. On the black card, there are fishy tutorials. So if you don't know how to draw fish, or if you have a fish in mind you like to draw, go for it. But these are on the cart. I have examples like how to draw like a basic fish, and it breaks it down into steps. So start with a little number 3. You add a little oval for the body, a tail. You keep adding details to it. There's other fish examples too. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little fishy. Start with my 3. Add the body, add a tail, add some fins, but you have fun. You can even design your own fish. Then your tank, you design what's in it. Seaweed. I'm gonna draw a little castle. There are also fish tank decor examples on the black cart if you would like to go grab one to inspire you. Okay, castle. And then after we draw our fish tank, you are going to use your 5-star coloring to color things in. So that means we're not leaving any white spaces that aren't there on purpose. Like if you have a bubble you want to stay white, then you leave that white. But let's make sure, like here's an example. If I was to color my table, I want to make sure I'm going around the edges first. I'm coloring, I'm outlining, and then I'm going to fill it in. So look, nice long strokes, not leaving much white space. So I'm kind of like zigzagging back and forth, and use good craftsmanship. Oop, this is glass, so we're actually gonna see through the table because it is translucent. Okay, then keep going. Have a good time coloring and make sure you're adding all those fun details. But artists, notice how I started with a Sharpie. Make sure you start with your pencil first, just in case you make a mistake. Draw light before it's right, and then we will outline. Okay, have fun creating, my lovely artists.